Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is the brother Mayum coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and this truth and sincerity. So like you bear with me with the noise from the work van. Just doing a video in transit here through the Spirit, just listening to the brother Karatazah from out of Salakia, the elder from Vegas, Karatazah. Okay, he just did a video going into reports being heard that Ukraine has struck inside of Russia with U.S. made bombs. Now it still hasn't been made official. It's still not a 100% for sure this is what happened, because I know, I haven't been able to find anything. I mean, there are reports, but nothing that's official that officials have come out and say, yeah, we did it, or Russia hasn't claimed that, yeah, we've been bombed, so it's yet to be seen. But nonetheless, what's getting ready to be stirred up here on the earth is that sound of battle, which has been playing. All right, that tune of the sound of battle of this World War III taking place upon the earth, man, is being heard. All right, whether you believe on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, whether you believe in the Bible, okay, whether you believe in God, all right, as the majority of the world calls the Heavenly Father, all right, World War III is gonna come. Okay, and I was able to, this was reported a few days ago when during the whole Trump trial, okay, and it came out that Biden gave the okay for Ukraine to use U.S. missiles in Russia to attack Russia. Okay, so that has been confirmed. Biden didn't come out and say that for Ukraine to go ahead and use U.S. missiles. All right, and this is what I got here. This is an article off of Blacklisted News, published June 3rd, and it says, while most of the media was busy with Trump, the Biden regime has signed off on allowing Ukraine to attack targets inside Russia with U.S. weapons. It says this is in addition to the fact that Ukraine has been striking oil infrastructure deep inside Russia with some form of UAV system. Okay, so they've been attacking, and now they've been given the green light to use U.S. missiles. And the reports that have been coming out is that they did do that. So we'll see what's getting ready to come with this. But this is what Yahweh Shai, this is what the scriptures talk about coming in the last days. All right, let's get this in Revelation. All right, because we know that there was two major wars that have taken place upon the earth, World War I and World War II. Okay, you had one starting around the early 1900s, all right, ending around 1920s, around there. I think it was like 1918 or 1917, sometime around there. Then you had the Second World War, which started in the late 20s, over in Europe. I want to say maybe even possibly the early 30s, but it led all the way up to 1945 when America finally dropped those atomic missiles over in Japan. Okay, so this time the scriptures talk about a third destruction, a third woe that's getting ready to happen upon the earth, because those two First World Wars, all right, those are woes. And what does the word woe mean? It means destruction when you go into it, which we can get it. All right, this is Revelation 11, and let's get to the point. We'll start at verse 13. Revelation 11 and 13, it says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. Now, you go into the 10th part of the city, that's specifically talking about America. Now, when you go into America and how America is divided, you got to understand that in a time of war, who's given control? Well, I believe it was Barack Obama, all right, who put into effect I can't remember the name of the act or the bill or whatever, the House bill, whatever. But during a time of war, FEMA basically takes over. All right, emergency powers are given over to FEMA. Okay, so when you look at the FEMA map of America, America is broken up in 10 parts. Okay, into 10 regions, 10 sections. And this is the 10th part that is speaking of here. All right, because eventually this is talking about America being destroyed with missiles. That earthquake is going to be caused by nuclear missiles. Okay, matter of fact, they even got a bomb all right, that the British used. I don't know if America has something similar. I would assume they do, but the British has a bomb that causes an earthquake. Okay, so you can only imagine a thermonuclear missile, which is hundreds of times more powerful than that missile, if not more powerful. The type of earthquake, the effects that it's going to have on the earth, man. Just imagine that. All right, but it says, in the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. So a complete number of people died. And it says, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of the power of heaven. Right, man, because the remnant is going to be delivered. You know, as those missiles come down to destroy America, the election of Israel, all right, that has been predestined, will be delivered. Okay, so that they're going to be affrighted because they're going to see that destruction. As we getting beamed up, we're going to see that destruction looking back down. Okay, and it says, verse 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, man. So, hey, man, that third woe is coming, and we seeing it in the news, man. All this talk about of World War III nuclear missiles. All right, Russia, you know, Putin coming out saying that we can strike one of these smaller countries and y'all will be toast, man. Millions of people completely destroyed, man. So imagine when all these nations that are going to be at war, all right, and America's own allies turn their back against this whore and completely obliterate this place. What do you think is going to happen, man? What do you think is going to take place here in America? Well, the scriptures just told you, man. The 10th part of the city fell. All right. This is let's get this in Jeremiah 51 and start at verse 1. It says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Seeing that destroying wind, you got to understand how it's going to come. Because when you go to Ezekiel 38, it tells you that the Lord is going to put a perverse spirit or an evil thought in the minds of the Medes, all right, and put hooks in their jaws to turn them back. Okay, and the Medes, the modern day Medes, who's living in that area today of the ancient Medes? That's Russia, man. That's the Russians. And the Lord is putting those hooks in their jaws to turn them back, right? To turn them back into that old way, to that old Russian Soviet, that Soviet Union spirit of, you know, F anybody who wants to mess with us. Okay? Because now what we see happening is the fulfillment of Ezekiel 38, man. Where Russia is being a guard and gathering up all these nations that once were weak and arming them and preparing these nations. And a lot of these nations too, man, you know, they've gotten power, you know, through their own might, you know, through the Spirit of the Lord. You know, being able to develop their own weaponry, you know, through technology, you know, technological advances. You know, other nations like Iran specifically, you know, they've been able to get certain technological advances through damn, Spirit almost had Jacob's crash over here. Clowns. But you have Slovakia. You had Iran, you know, able to catch drones of America and take that technology, man, to and use it for their own good. Okay, so a lot of these nations that were once weak are now strong, and not only that, through not only are the weak nations strong through military might, but now they have a protector. They have their big brother backing them up, so to say. Okay, and that's Russia. Okay, and that's why you see a lot of these nations, fearing that coalition forming, which is the BRICS nation, because Russia's the big bear and all that, man. Okay, you see already Turkey, which is a NATO country, talking about they want to leave and go into the BRICS. So you have people making decisions here in these last days, because the Lord is preparing the nations for war. You go into Joel chapter 3, it talks about prepare ye for battle, man. Wake up the mighty men. Okay, and that's what we see happening, man. The Lord is waking up the mighty men of these nations, all these military men. All right, the Lord is making these leaders of these nations make the proper decisions and moves to position themselves for this coming war, man. All right, so back in Jeremiah 51, it says, verse 2, it says, "And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about." And this is that day of trouble that we're quickly approaching, man. That third woe. And the fanners is, what do you do to a flame? To a fire, you fan it, or you blow upon it, you blow air into it to make it bigger, right? Well, that's what these fanners are going to be doing, man. They're going to make this fire that America has started, because there's already going to be a fire in America, and with internal conflicts, right? Because we see that stirring up as well. Okay, you go into Isaiah chapter 19, the Egyptian against Egyptian. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Come back to this Jeremiah 51, and just bear with me. This is just through the Spirit. Turn the recorder on, so as spirits come to me, I'll pull them out, until I get to my destination. This is Isaiah chapter 19 in verse 1. It says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." Now, when you go back to that Revelation 11, you read up a little bit further up, it talks about that their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of that great city, which is spiritually called Egypt and Sodom. They're spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Okay, why is America known as Sodom? Because of that's self-explanatory. All the bundles of sticks. As a matter of fact, this whole month that we're in, June, okay, is dedicated to these bundles of sticks, which is ironic because America is going to be lit. Okay, all right, but what? America is also known as spiritually Egypt. Why? Because this is the land of the captivity of the Israelites, the main location of the captivity of the Israelites, man. This is where the majority of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans served captivity and or were sent to other places of the earth from. Okay, because through the diaspora, all right, look that up. The Israelites, all right, the so-called natives of America, the Caribbean, North and South America, Central America, all right, these people were taken into captivity, all right, by the red man, all right, whether you want to call them the Spanish, whether you want to call them the French or the British, okay, or the Portuguese, or even those small hats, because they were the main ones, man. The small hats were the main ones funding the slave trade, all right? But through these nations, through these people, this specific group of people, okay, the Israelites were sent around the four corners of the earth through captivity and put into hardcore bondage, okay, to serve a time, all right? So this is why America is known as Egypt. So when we read here in Isaiah 19, where it talks about the burden of Egypt, we understand that this is specifically talking about Egypt of old, but you can liken this onto America today. This precepts here are twofold. Okay, so verse 2, Isaiah 19 and verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right, man, and this is what we're going to see happen here in the shores of America, within America, man, you know, amongst you so-called brothers in arms. Okay, and the nations are going to take full advantage of that. Going back to that Jeremiah 51. All right, Jeremiah 51, going back to verse 2, it says, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about, man. See, so it's going to be that time for these nations, going to Isaiah chapter 13, to come and to render to her double according to her works, right? Revelation 18. Okay, so these nations are going to come and they're going to show you Americans what they have been doing to these other nations, you know, around the earth, man, which has been robbing, pillaging, killing, completely destroying people's lives, man. That's what America has done around the four corners of the earth to these other nations, man. Specifically out there in the Middle East and in the, you know, Central Asia, you know. So now these nations are prepared, and the Lord is got things set up perfectly for this great takeover to happen, man. For this great war to take place, and it's gonna happen. Though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come to pass, man. And Ezekiel 33 and verse 33 tells you, and when these things come to pass, lo, they will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been amongst them, man. You're going to know that the Lord has sent you prophets betimes to warn you of these things, man. And a lot of you people are going to be found not to have taken heed to the word of the Lord, man. And you're going to be held accountable in that day. Okay? And this is that time, again, man, this is that time we're coming into, man. And this is a beautiful time. You know, the Lord is setting it up beautifully, man. You know, that sound of battles playing in the land. You know, the Lord is stirring up the spirits of these leaders of the world, man. Okay? So, you know, I just wanted to hit that quick point. You know, the elder went in on the video. The Lord's will, I'll put it in the description box. You know, brothers, check that the elder's page out. You know, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And you know, Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachaha Gudash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, who are diligently pushing out this truth and this truth in sincerity. With that, I say shalom.